History has shown us that government-enforced equality ultimately and quickly leads to injustice. But we cannot possibly be a parliament of equality of opportunity if we do not make education our highest priority. Too many of our fellow Australians are condemned to lives of quiet desperation, cycles of poverty that cannot be broken even when the will exists to do so. This parliament has predetermined that the right answer for everyone is a university education, despite the fact that in other nations, only around 20% of people choose tertiary education, and these nations provide better outcomes for the economy, national wealth, business formation, productivity, employment and real wages. In the United States, as just one example, the vast majority of companies in their top 20 by capitalisation were started after 1975. I believe it is 19 out of the 20 of those companies. By contrast, Australia's youngest company in the top 20 was formed just before the Great Depression in the 1930s. We continue to ignore best practice and inconvenient truths throughout the education sector. We ignore the fact that decentralised education systems are the most successful as we continue to do all we could to centralise our education system. We ignored the importance of training of teachers and experimentations in curriculum as the major drivers of education outcome, as we plough billions of dollars into a system that is producing decreasing outcomes in education. In Australia, there is currently a negative correlation between spending and education outcomes. And we pretend that giving parents freedom to choose is somehow a bad thing for their children, them and our nation. But most of all, we pander to a Congo line of stakeholders whose self-interest goes unchecked and unchallenged. Our children suffer, our liberal ideals are undermined, the cycle of poverty continues, our economy and national dynamism suffers, the quiet desperation of so many continues to go on, unheard and unheeded. No matter though, the good and the great are satiated. If we are to live up to our highest ideals, then this parliament should advance the cause of a better and more responsive education system for all, not just for some. All of us in this place come from unique communities. Even so, despite the ferocity with which we debate, there is much more that unites us than divides us. We spend too much time here constructing walls between ourselves rather than crossing the many bridges that already exist. My community, like so many others, believes the only way to create and maintain a fair country is through freedom. For no one person knows the path of happiness for every person. That care and compassion comes not from the generosity of the state, but from our families, friends, neighbours, and those voluntary organisations we choose to join and build. That history's surest pathway to serfdom is by replacing equality of opportunity with equality of outcome. And that our most solemn duty in this place is to preserve and protect all that is right with our nation for all who live in it. For ultimately, let those who judge us both now and in the future do so not on the basis of the treasures we possess, but on the gifts that we have shared. Mr Deputy Speaker, Australia remains one of the great nations on our planet, and our planet remains the best planet in our solar system, if not the entire galaxy. To be born here is to have won life's great lottery. One of the things that makes us so great is that we are always building a more perfect nation in so many areas. One of the economic challenges we face is improving productivity of our economy. There is little doubt that one of the reasons our productivity has not been better is due to Labor-era laws, whether it is the legacy of corruption and inaction of the Carr-Keneally state government, or the Gillard Swan spendathon on pink bats, or Gillard's trashing of our workplaces through the Fair Work Act. All of these things have made it more difficult for the people of Australia, our hard-working families, to enjoy a better life. In 2016, the Liberal Party announced the National Innovation and Science Agenda. Its specific goal was to increase not only the amount of research and development going on in our community, but also to make sure it stayed here in Australia and it got commercialised so that all of us could enjoy the fruits of the great ideas that so many of our fellow citizens come up with. Right on cue, the IMF recently released a report demonstrating that too many of our exports are raw or uncomplex in their nature. The NISA has never been more important, ensuring that our already competitive advantage in quantum computing continues and is extended. And it is at this point that I want to mention the extraordinary leadership of Michelle Simmons at the University of New South Wales Centre for Quantum Computing. It is no exaggeration to say that the development of quantum computing will be as significant as the discovery of the electron. Reforming employee share schemes so that startups can get access to the best and the best and brightest can get their fair share of the benefits of their ideas is more critical now than ever. This is how Silicon Valley was built. This is how innovation will be built in Australia. From pure science to grants, tax reform, capital market incentivation, higher institutes of education, to programs that allow researchers to get a share in the commercial benefits of their work. NISA is a groundbreaking program that is changing the structure of our economy and making all Australians better off.